There I am. Rob Thompson's 90th game as Philly manager equals the Phillies' 79th win of the season. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Phightins Final, the premium in Philadelphia Philly post-game entertainment here on the Edge of Philly Sports Network with boy Matty B. And 2-1 victory over the Florida Marlins. Win streak now goes to 4 games, and the Phillies find themselves, folks, are you ready for this? Are you ready? Because this makes me so happy to say this to you tonight. I can report this: 9 games out of first place with 21 games left to play. Still have not given up on my dream of a 2022 NL East pennant for the Philadelphia Phillies, as they are now 9 games out of first place with 21 left to play. It is not over until it is over. And tonight, once again, having to face Sandy Alcantara for like the congillionth time in 2022, the Phillies were somewhat up to the task offensively. We'll get into that as those inconsistencies continue to plague us. But let's first start with the man, the myth, the legend that is Bailey Falter. Yes, we like to kind of say Noah Syndergaard is Thor, folks. I give you Bailey Falter as Thor. Another solid performance from Falter tonight. 6 very strong innings as he led the way and kept the Marlin bats at bay, as the Phillies were able to do enough, thanks to Nick Maton and his late 2-run home run, to lift the Phillies to that 2-1 victory. And then the bullpen came on and shut the door. Yeah, on the lowly Marlins, I got it. But once again, I'm not going to die on that hill. It's a Major League Baseball team. We don't make the schedule. We play the games they tell us to play. And the Phillies were able to handle their business en route to their 79th victory of the year, 2-1. And as I mentioned, 9 games out of first place. Now, Matt, you might be asking, Matty B, how in the hell are the Phillies only 9 games out of first place? Well, I'm going to tell you why, because the Mets are metting it up, folks. They've lost their last 2 games at the hands of the mighty Chicago Cubs. Now, granted, the Cubs swept us right out of there right after the All-Star break, but I could not be happier to see what I'm seeing in the sports pages these days as the Mets are continuing to met it up. 9 games out of first place with 21 left to play. Did I mention we're 9 games out of first place with 21 left to play? The dream is not dead. Let's go Phillies. Walter hits me up with Phillies are 1-3 versus Alcantara. Phillies did not falter, and neither did Robertson. Oh, Walter with the author of the blow pen comes back from left field with another one. I like that, Walter. Very good. And Bailey Falter is definitely the story of the night. He is the player of the game in every aspect of the word that you can ask for. And a night where the Phillies got some really, really good news on the pitching front. Matter of fact, they got one of them that actually pitched tonight. Sir Anthony Dominguez made his return and pitched a solid inning out of relief. Zach Eflin was available to pitch tonight as he sat out there in the bullpen, did not pitch. But as the Phillies now get ready to move into the final playoff push of the season, they have, I believe, matter of fact, they're down to that one Monday left. You guys notice that the Phillies have one more Monday game left in the regular season? God, that's depressing. How did we get so deep? They have one more Monday game left in the season, and that's not until October when they play the Astros for the final series of the year. But just a great win by the Phillies tonight, as they and Bailey Falter, as we get off track here, back to the pitching. It's a great question. It's a great problem to have. What do we do, though? What do we do with the starting rotation as we move closer? Obviously, the Zach Wheeler thing is still kind of up in the air. A kind of a minor bump in the road with some soreness in his elbow has turned into 3 weeks on the shelf. We're not getting anything really substantial out of Dave Dombrowski about what may be ailing Zach Wheeler. And as we get deeper into this season and closer to the playoffs, how effective would Zach Wheeler even be at this point if we were to kind of turn around and pitch him in October without having pitched in over a month? So the Zach Wheeler thing remains a mystery. But when you're looking at what Bailey Falter has done, and I mentioned this with Joe Marks last week, I think Bailey Falter will be a serious candidate heading into next spring, if not to be a permanent piece of the bullpen. I mean, I think that's hands down. He definitely needs to be in that bullpen conversation next year, but an outside chance perhaps to compete for that 4th or 5th starting job in the rotation as we continue to wait for some of those younger arms to mature and then come up as well. So A great problem to have when it comes to too much pitching, but it's a question the Phillies are going to have to really answer here soon. What are they doing with the rotation in the postseason? Is it going to be Syndergaard? Is it going to be a is it Wheeler? I mean, that's I guess the big first question is Zach Wheeler going to be there? And then you kind of go from there. So a great problem for the Phillies to have as they continue to win now three in a row. I'm sorry, four in a row as they beat the Marlins tonight. And the Beagles rule says we will never give up on the prayer for first place crown. I'm so tired of Sandy Alcantara, but we're beginning to win and own him. Yeah, no, yeah, Bailey Falter for Cy Young. Absolutely. Bailey Falter is my Cy Young Award winner. He is my candidate for Cy Young Award in the National League. No, it was an amazing job. It was. He's done well. He has done well. And go Phils indeed. Hey, Dave, I'll talk to you in about 10 minutes. Right now, Falter is your number 3 starter. If this is to keep continuing the way it's going. And Ellis chiming in with it's a good win tonight. Ellis, it's always a good win when the Phillies win. And especially if you didn't hear, the Phillies are only 9 games out of first place with 21 remaining. The dream is alive. So, absolutely. Let's go to the line, folks, and let's kind of talk about how it all went down out there in South Florida. The Phillies would finish with 2 runs on 8 hits. Marlins 1 run, 4 hits, and they did commit 1 error. Phillies no errors tonight. How all the scoring, all the scoring went down. The Marlins got on the board first with the Brian De La Cruz homer in the bottom of the 5th inning to give them the 1-0 lead, and then Nick the Bat Maton, who continues to just swing a hot stick. I said this last week on the show. I was really, really hurt when he got hurt back in the summer. Remember when he was up? I believe it was for when it was for Gene. It was for Segura. And he was in the lineup and he was starting to really heat up. He was just all over the place. And then he jammed up his shoulder that one game. And that was the last we heard of him for about 2 months. And then he came back, and it's taken him some time to round back into form. But it's good to see Nick Maton still hitting. And of course, tonight when we got really nothing else, he has the game-winning hit, a 2-run shot in the top of the 7th. And that is all the scoring that was required tonight as Bailey Falter was dealing. All individually offensive numbers. Kyle Schwarber 0 for 3 with a walk, and he had a stolen base. So there you go. That's what we brought you here for, Ray Kyle. The steal bases, baby. There you go. Reese Hoskins continues to pretty much frustrate his way right out of Philadelphia. 0 for 4 tonight. 3 strikeouts to boot. Bryce Harper, what is going on? 1 for 4. JT 0 for 4. Alec Bohm 1 for 4. Bryson 1 for 4. Gene Segura 3 for 4. Nick Maton 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a home run. He is my offensive MVP of the night. And Brandon Marsh once 1 for 3. Miguel Rojas on the Marlins was 2 for 4. And then other than that, it was De La Cruz with the homer. He went 1 for 3 with a walk. Oh, no, just 1 for 3. And then Luke Williams, the former Philly, was 1 for 2. Pitching, what can I say, man? Bailey the Hammer Falter, I'm starting to come up with names, gets the win tonight. He is now 5-3 on the season. 6 strong innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned, and he struck out 4. Did not walk a single batter. Jose Alvarado continues his renaissance out of the bullpen this year. A solid inning pitch, 2 strikeouts, and then the aforementioned Sir Anthony Dominguez, an inning, and he did have a strikeout. And David Robertson comes on to record his 20th save of the 2022 season in a solid 1 inning of work. And Sandy Alcantara on the Marlins went 7, gave up 8 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. He walked 1. He struck out 4. Tommy Nance and Cole Sulser would pitch the rest of the way for the Marlins. And there you have it, folks. 2-1 Phillies. 2-1. And now I guess we can kind of I'm getting, as you can hear, I'm getting frustrated with certain players on this team offensively. I've come to the end a long time ago with Kyle Schwarber as our leadoff hitter. I'm starting to come to the end with Kyle Schwarber, to be honest with you. And now Reese Hoskins is starting to kind of round into that form as well. JT, I've been off JT for a while because he's been hitting well. He's been hitting a lot better, more consistently. And, we were up against Alcantara. Alcantara is definitely a Cy Young Award for a real candidate this year. The Phillies have owned him this season. He has pitched not well against the Phillies. The Phillies have hit him solidly all year, but he is a Cy Young Award candidate this year. So I can't get too down on the Philly offense when they get kind of befuddled by him. But I said this about Alec Bohm last year. I can forgive the defense when you're hitting, and the same can be said about Reese Hoskins. I can kind of forgive the the butchery at first when you're hitting, but right now he's not hitting either. I've come to the end of Reese Hoskins here on this team. I don't want to see him on the team anymore. He needs to be moved in the offseason some way, shape, or form. He's just not the player we thought he was going to be. And that's just as simple as that. Sean, what's up? Yankees Aaron Judge leads the MLB with 57 home runs, and Kyle Schwarber is second with 37. The 20 home run difference between the leader and second place hitter in homers would be the largest since 20. Yeah. Then, yeah. Yeah. No, I don't. Now, Sean, are you citing this for validity for Kyle Schwarber or for the fraud that Kyle Schwarber might be? Because um, I mean, Aaron Judge has had a kind of monstrous year. He's had like one of those epic years. So I don't know if it's a legit comparison this year. But if you're talking about the fact that a better stat would be the fact that Schwarber's batting like 210, and it's either literally home run or nothing with the guy. And that's our leadoff hitter. And I don't know what it's going to take to get him out of that spot. What's going to frustrate me even more is when October rolls around and we have a 3-game playoff series with somebody, and you got Kyle Schwarber striking out his way, striking out every game the lead off. That's what's really going to frustrate the hell out of me, to the point where I'm be throwing shit at TV because I can't see it anymore, man. I really can't, cannot. And Wayne hits me up as I'm starting to question the Schwarber lead off. Also, at least get on base. Yeah, absolutely. And he's not that type of hitter. I don't think he'll ever be that type of hitter. I think we're asking too much of that. Schwarber is a home run or nothing guy. So with that being said, in a lineup that is full of home run or nothing kind of guys, why don't we slide him down a little bit? Slide him down to 7. Move Segura back up to 2. Move Bowman to 1. And let it roll that way. Let's get some slash and dash guys get on base and give Schwarber an opportunity when he does hit a home run to hit more than just a leadoff, or I'm sorry, or solo. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And Dave is asking the same question. Why is Segura not in the 2-hole? I don't know, Dave. That's a great question. I don't know. Yeah, no, Sean. Okay, yes, I agree. But when it comes to hitting, he's cold. It's home run or nothing. And if you mean by hitting home runs, he's hot or cold, yes. But as far as hitting goes, he's cold all the time. What was it? That stretch of games back in July where he was like, I don't know, some odd number where he hit like 9 home runs in a week or something. But that's it. You never hear about Kyle Schwarber in the walk-off double, or Kyle Schwarber in the triple down the line, or Kyle Schwarber in the bases clearing double over the fence. You never hear that. You only hear about Kyle Schwarber the home run, or Kyle Schwarber 0 for 4 struck out 3 times. That to me is not necessarily a hot or cold hitter. I mean, he's been a cold hitter all year. He just gets hot when it comes to hitting home runs. And again, I understand what he is, but why is he leading off? Baseball has not changed that much, in my opinion. Kyle Schwarber does not need to be leading off. And I got buyer's remorse. I could have lived without Kyle Schwarber this year, honestly. What has he done, really? I mean, I don't know. And Schwarber hits well in warm weather. October is not warm. Yeah, well, Wayne, he hit well in July. And maybe what? A little bit of June. And that was about it. That's about it. New Jersey, Trouts has 35. We'll finish ahead of Schwarber. Yeah, you might. Schwarber's, it's just frustrating. That's my point, everybody. And this is, we push forward to this. And I mentioned 9 games out of first with 21 left. I mean, I'm not foolhardy enough to think that anymore that the Phillies are going to win the division. But obviously, I think they had a shot to. They could have. I think they could have. They just didn't do enough against the teams they needed to do it against. But there is still a chance. But they will make the playoffs. That's a pretty given, right? At this point, they will make the playoffs, and then it gives to a whole other thing, right? Then every goddamn pitch matters. I can't tell you how many times I've watched a playoff baseball game standing up the entire time in my living room, not at the game, but in my living room, because every pitch means so much, and I'm just not going to be able to mentally handle 1, 2, 3 strikes are out. 1, 2, 3 strikes are out from my leadoff hitter through a 3-game do or die playoff series. And then maybe maybe he hits a home run. I just, I'm concerned. I mean, let's get to the playoffs first, yeah. But I don't know if I want to watch that, man. I don't know if I have the. I don't know if I have it in me to watch it because it's frustrating and it'll manifest itself all in a 3-game playoff series, and my head will explode. It's just I can't, man. I can't. Someone needs to do something. Oh god. All right. Let me see. What's this guy want to say? We have a hiccup every now and then. We still have a model of consistency. We are the only team in the majors not to have a 4-game losing streak. We only had a 3-game losing streak twice. Phillies are 9 games out of first place with 21 left. I see the Braves have started their tailspin, so it won't lose any ground. We are 9 games out of first place with 21 left to play. Would you keep Falter in the starting role for the playoffs when others get back? Now, the others I imagine you're referring to is Zach Wheeler because Zach Eflin is back, and he's not back in the rotation. Now, I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that's just a way to kind of, look for an opening to slide him back in the rotation, or if they're actually going to work him in, and that's what his role will be from this point forward into the end of the season to include the playoffs. Is Zach Eflin in the bullpen now? Is he going to be your potential additional late inning guy, a 6th, 7th, 8th inning guy? Is he going to be a bridge to Alvarado, so to speak? I don't know. But if you're referring to Zach Wheeler, again, it all depends on when they get Zach Wheeler back. If Zach Wheeler is coming back and he hasn't pitched and his first scheduled start is in the playoffs, I don't know, man. I don't know what you do there. Do you trust that? I mean, Zach Wheeler wouldn't have pitched at that point for about a month and a half. I don't know if you trust that in a playoff series. I don't know. I mean, he's your ace, right? I guess that's what you pay him for. But or do you go with an unproven arm that has never pitched in that type of situation before? But then again, that's pretty much the entire Phillies team. They've never been put in that situation before. So it's a great question. And it's a good problem. I want to preface that by saying it's a great problem to have. I don't know what I would do. Aaron Nola obviously is one of your pitchers. Was Noah Syndergaard, wasn't that what he was brought here to do? Was be one of those pitchers for us in the playoffs? Because he's got the experience. He's been there. He's been to a World Series. So, has he been brought here to do that? Is he figured into that rotation? Is it a 4-man rotation? Is it a 3-man rotation? Is it Nola? I can't imagine Rangers there, right? Is it Nola, Wheeler, Eflin, and Syndergaard? Is that your starting playoff pitching rotation, or is it Falter? Is it Nola? Is it Nola, Syndergaard, Eflin, Falter? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Uh, there's so much uncertainty when it comes to this team when it comes to the playoffs. This group has never been there. I guess you would go with the hot hand, but if you're going to put Falter, you're going to pick your poison with him because you're either going to start him in a series or you're going to finish him in one. Because if you're going to pitch him at 3 or 4, then there's the potential he might come in either an elimination game that you're pitching trying to eliminate a team, or you're trying to stave off elimination. So is that the guy you want pitching in that type of situation? I don't know, man. It's a question that obviously is now beginning to be asked, but as we get deeper into this and things become a little bit more clear about positioning, opponent, we'll be able to answer that a little bit more clearly, and we'll be able to see what they're going to do. They're going to set up their rotation to mirror that here probably within the next 2 weeks. So it'll be a very interesting game to play. I think Rangers out. I think Rangers definitely going to be in the bullpen. But as far as the other 4 or other 5 now, if you include Zach Eflin into that and Zach Wheeler, what's the best? Or is it just or do you do that 2-pitcher rotation thing where maybe you start Falter, but then keep an eye on him, and if he starts flagging in the second inning, you put Eflin in. I don't know. It's definitely an interesting situation, though. Definitely interesting situation. Put in the books. Nah, I disagree. Yeah, I can't. So I'm 9 games and 21 left. That's all I'm gonna say. So great night for Phillies baseball. Great night, man. A Phillies win, a Mets loss. Can't ask for more. But let's ask for some more. Let's take a look at some out of let's go take a look at some out of town scores here. As we mentioned, there are some games that are out there affecting the Phillies in their drive for October. The Cardinals and the Brewers are battling as we speak in St. Louis. They are in the top of the ninth. It is 8-4 Milwaukee. Looking like Milwaukee's probably going to win that game. Doesn't matter. We won. San Diego and Seattle kind of just getting underway. They're in the top of the fourth out there in Seattle. Nothing, nothing. The Braves are in San Francisco tonight. They are heading to the bottom of the third. They are leading 4-1 over the Giants. And then, as I mentioned earlier tonight, the Chicago Cubs, the powerhouse Cubs, defeated the Mets for the second straight night, 4-1, 9 games out with 21 left to play. And you're fighting Phils, 2-1 winners over the Florida or Miami Marlins out there in South Florida. Tomorrow night, the Phillies will get this thing turned right around. 6:40 start. Kyle Gibson in his 9-6, 4.57 ERA will be opposed by Edward Cabrera, who will bring his 5-2, 2.63 ERA to bear at 6:40 p.m. down there in Miami for Game 2 of the series. Phillies looking for their 23rd series victory of 2022. 23, amazing, amazing. Dave says I'm still sticking with my guns. I'm not seeing playoffs this season. If I'm wrong, it wouldn't be the first time. Sorry, Maddie. I don't see how you cannot see playoffs, Dave. It's pretty clear to me that they're going to get in. I mean, they'd have to do like 1964 type stuff here to not get into the playoffs. At this point, I really don't. The way the schedule is, it's they got I think what two more or three teams left with records over 500, and one of those teams when we see them, uh, the Astros probably won't be playing for anything on the last weekend of the season. So I don't really see why. I don't see how they cannot. I don't. Walter says no, he didn't pitch against the Mets. Yeah, he will also be in the pen. Okay, that's a great point, Walter. And that's something I didn't bring up. That whole Noah Syndergaard, I don't want to pitch against the Mets thing. You're right, but if he's in a bullpen, so what? Why don't we just deactivate him and activate somebody else if we're not gonna pitch him? If he's not gonna start, why would he be coming out of the pen? He doesn't want to face the Mets. What would it matter if it's as a reliever? So, that's another great question. What's going on there, right? And I've been still wanting an answer to that. But if I'm not going to start him because he won't pitch against the Mets, why would I waste a bullpen slot on him if he's not going to pitch against the Mets? So you're right. That's something I didn't think about, Walter. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that back to my attention. So 2-1 Phillies. Let's go over some numbers here real quick because the Phillies are climbing up some of the statistical categories. The Phillies they did ground into one double play tonight. That is the 101st double play that they've grounded into this season, but pretty good. Speaking of 141 games, they've grounded into only 101 double plays. That's actually not that bad. They've also eclipsed now 1,200 team strikeouts. They've actually struck out. And I'm not saying the Phillies have struck out, but the Phillies pitching staff has now struck out 1,201 batters in 2022. As for the Phillies strikeouts, they're up to 1,149. So they themselves are closing in on 1,200. They've also, the Philly pitching staff tonight, or yes, actually, I should say on Sunday, issued their 400th walk of the season. Also tonight, the Phillies went over the 1,200 mark in hits. They're now at 1,204, and they are closing in on 500 runners left in scoring position with 2 outs, as well as they're closing in on 900 runners left on base, as well as closing in on 700 runs for the season. All very interesting, confusing numbers when you're talking about a team that's also closing in on 80 wins. So you tell me how that's supposed to all work. I don't know, man. But those are some of the numbers that the Phillies are flirting with right now in 2022. Numbers that when growing up, when watching baseball and thinking about how putrid those numbers are, you would think the team that's involved in that is like a dead last place team, a 110 loss team. But now we're talking about a team that's about to win their 80th game of the season. So you tell me. I don't know. I don't know what's happened. Really don't. And then Dave says they still have Atlanta 7 more times, Toronto 2 more times. I'm not seeing it. I mean, Dave, I'm not going to try to talk you into it, man. I'm just telling you, yeah, you're right. But I'm not looking at those 7 games against Atlanta as losses. I mean, I'm looking at them as 7 more opportunities to win this division. The Braves are just a game behind the Mets. So there's a good chance the Braves are going to be in first place again by the time we get to that series. And then 7 more wins against the Mets or Braves puts us right in the damn thing coming down the stretch. Not only am I 100% confident that the Phillies will make the playoffs, I am still confident they're going to win the division. I really am. Jimmy Rollins said it with 17 games left and 7 out back in '07. You know, I'm not getting off it, man. 9 games. They have no business being 9 games out right now, the way they've played this year. I mean, and against the Mets head to head. But here they are, 9 games out with 21 left to play. It's amazing to me. After starting the season 21 or 22 and 29, firing their manager, having no identity, going through injuries of Bryce Harper, Zach Wheeler, Gene Segura, not having a center field solution until friggin' August. The fact that there are 80 wins or almost at 80 wins and only 9 games out of first place with 21 left, it's friggin' amazing. And still striking out 1,200 times a season. It's goddamn amazing, man. It blows my mind. Walter says he forgot last week the Phillies were tops in the National League in runners in scoring position with one. Yeah. Yeah, listen, Walter, it's a stat that's been bothering me all year. The way they leave runners on scoring, runners on base, and I'm telling you guys, you're going to see it when we do this thing. When we did the final in the playoffs, because we're going to the playoffs, Dave. But when I come on here and do the final, you're going to see a frazzled Matty B, because every pitch, every runner left on second base, every soft ground out to the pitcher with the runners on second and third and 2 outs is going to strike me at the core, man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through a series because and all these manifestations. When you track stuff like this for a season and you're so tuned into going right towards certain numbers in the box score, and you're running like tallies all year, you become a little obsessed with it. And every strikeout, you're like, yep, 1,216. Or every runner left the scoring position, oh, that's number 510. Yeah, I'm setting myself up for a hell of a playoff series. Oh boy, yeah. Oh, Matty B's going to be needing some mental health help here at the end of October. But I'm bringing it on, man. It's long overdue, 11 years. But listen, folks, it's going to wrap me up real quick. Let's pay some bills. I just did some. Actually, you know what? Let's take a look at this. So you guys are aware that next season in March, the World Baseball Classic is returning to Major League Baseball, or to the world scene. And right now, this is the projected Team USA. Some of the players, as you can see, a couple Phillies are on this list. JT Real Muto is a catcher, and Bryce Harper there in the outfield. So again, I show you this stat because I didn't really want to show it to you. I kind of hit it by accident, but the hell with it, I'll do it now. You know, as we move forward into the playoffs, and we already know the situation with Bryce's shoulder and his UCL joint. How is Bryce Harper going to be playing in the outfield in the World Baseball Classic in March when we don't even know his situation with his surgery? I just don't know. Maybe he's the designated hitter on this team. I don't know, but it's interesting that he is committed to playing for Team USA when there's such uncertainty about his elbow. But this is your tentative part of, at least, your 2023 Team USA World Baseball Classic roster. I love the World Baseball Classic. It gets the juices flowing for baseball right off the bat in spring training. For God's sakes, you're talking about international world tournament. And of course, Team USA is the defending champs. They won the last one. This is long overdue. I believe it was supposed to be in 2020, the last one, and of course, COVID knocked all that out. But it's coming back this spring. Be looking out for it in a ballpark near you. I certainly will. Now on to paying some bills. This is the EOP lineup. You're checking me out here on the Phightins Final on Tuesday. Don't forget, tomorrow is the flagship show, Edge of Philly Sports Live with Big Al and Joey. Oh, I'm sorry, Freddie's in for Joey. And then Phightins Final, me tomorrow night as well. As you can see, the Philly Press Box Radio boys are not on tomorrow. They'll be on Thursday, so a little scheduling note there. Don't forget, go to phillysportstrips.com. Check out all they have to offer. This is just some of their football stuff. They're going to every Eagle road game in 2022, and this is their tailgate. They're going to be doing a tailgate down at the Navy Yard, the Gatehouse, on Monday in advance of the Eagle Viking game. Go over to phillysportstrips.com. Check out everything they have to offer. And then, of course, check this man out if you have run into some difficulties in your life. Dave Cherry at 610-565-0300, Workman's Comp, motor vehicle accidents, personal injury, and criminal law. Tell him the boys at EOP and Matty B sent you. And then, hey, what can I say about Dolan's Bar, the only bar in Ridley Park? So go ahead and check them out. And somebody get me a gritty. I keep hearing about this sandwich, and I want one. Folks, that is going to wrap me up. 2-1 Phillies, winners tonight. 9 games out of first place with 21 left. Just saying. Phillies are 2 games now ahead of the Padres. They're solidly entrenched in that playoff spot in the wild card conversation. And until we talk again tomorrow, and we will, after game 2 of the series, don't forget Kyle Gibson going for the Phillies tomorrow as they look for their 23rd series victory of the season. That is going to do me, except for one thing, Harry the K. What you got?